Yeah, so we start here with the proteins, a lot of proteins. So we got chicken, we have fish, we have a lot of fish. I love fish, obviously. You got all those fatty acids, all the omega, got beef, burgers, turkey, pork. Again, we have fish, anchovies. Those are my favorite. Chickpeas, because I like to make hummus. That's another dish that I really love. We got some Italian prosciutto. That is the one. That will be a nice dessert for a good occasion. Carbs. That is pretty much all the carbs that I'm getting to a grocery. So I really like to stay as low as possible on carbs, because I've noticed that carbs will then activate my metabolism to ask for sugar, because body doesn't make any difference in between, you know, just flour, a slice of bread, and just 100 grams of sugar. It's exactly the same thing for it. So the more I stay away from it, the better I function. At least this is my experience. I'm curious what you think about it. What is your experience in regards to carbs and sugar? And then we got the eggs, and we got a lot of vegetables and fruit. Obviously, I want to have a diet extremely rich of fruit, because I have a diet which is extremely rich in protein. So kind of like to think that you have to offset all those proteins with a very good amount of fiber, and obviously you have all those vitamins, which I feel like I'm extremely energetic. When I don't have fruit, I really start to feel like tired. So yeah, this is pretty much my grocery list. Grocery shopping, it's been like this for almost a year, so it's pretty consistent. I like to believe that it's good, that it's healthy. I feel good with this diet. So let me know what you think about it. Amino acids, electrolytes, and creatine. So we're heading to the gym. It's day 2 of the full spectrum training cycle. This one's called the SuperCore session. Honestly, it's one of the sessions I hate the most, but also one I find incredibly beneficial. Sometimes I even use it as a form of punishment, especially when I've really messed up with my diet. So I'll throw it in outside the training cycle too, just to reset a bit. We're diving into the session now. Baby has abandoned us, probably due to media pressure. What's on the plan today? A whole lot of abs. As the name suggests, it's a SuperCore day. I'm doing 500 reps in one go, split into 5 sets of 100 reps. I'm hitting all angles, upper abs, lower abs, and obliques. The breakdown goes like this. I start with crunches, then flutter kicks, heel touches, knee tucks, and finish with scissor kicks. Now, here's the horrible part. It doesn't actually stop at 500. I repeat that entire cycle 3 more times, 4 rounds in total. That's 2,000 abs by the end of the session. Sounds crazy, maybe even a little bit impressive, but that's not actually the point. What really matters is the blueprint behind it. You don't need to hit that number. What you do need is to break a sweat. This is an endurance workout at its core, no pun intended. It also works great as a calorie burner, especially if you're trying to offset some of yesterday's wrongdoings. I know I am. Now, there's a slightly less horrible part to the session, something I added to make it a bit more enjoyable and to help build endurance. Before diving into the second round of abs, there's a quick 3 minutes on the bag. During these 3 minutes, I like to just go freestyle, not following any specific combo patterns or drills. Sometimes I might focus on the jab, since it's one of the most important tools in boxing, obviously. But for the most part, I'm just freestyling, going up and down the levels, mixing in some fast combos, then backing off for a bit of active recovery. I move around, try different things, and aim to get to that point where I'm not really thinking about it anymore, where it becomes second nature, just hitting the bag without planning ahead, like, okay, I'm going to throw a 1-1-2 or 1-2-3-4 or whatever. It's all about flow, but the key thing is to keep rhythm. That's what really helps to push endurance as well. Another thing I like to mix into my freestyle is working on power shots. I find it works really well, especially when it's combined with high volume ab work. My abs are already fully engaged at that point. Since the core is one of the most important muscle groups when striking, it makes a big difference. If you're really trying to throw powerful shots on the bag, the core engagement is key. So having my abs already activated kind of makes it easier to generate that force naturally. One important thing to mention about the bag work, this part isn't about being technical. Yes, I do have a bit of experience and I've always been really passionate about boxing, but here, it's all about endurance. So even if you've never hit a bag in your life, there's absolutely no reason to skip this. Don't think, oh, I don't know how to box, so I shouldn't do it. That's not the point. This isn't about perfect technique or throwing clean combos. It's about getting your arms moving, keeping the flow, and pushing your body. That's it. Now, remember when I said this type of training is great for offsetting those extra calories? There's another reason I find it really helpful. It gets me back on track. Once you push yourself to the point of working up a real sweat, your body naturally starts craving hydration. You want water. And for me, that leads to craving fruit, vitamins, minerals, things like potassium and magnesium that help restore muscle function and just make you feel better overall. It becomes a reset. Honestly, after this kind of session, it's hard to even think about junk food like pizza, burgers, or anything else. What you'll want instead is water, fruit, and clean, nourishing food. It's a great opportunity to reset both the body and the mindset. We're approaching the end of the round now, 1 minute of recovery coming up, and then we're diving straight into the second cycle. This is probably a good moment to reflect on the difference between calories in and calories out. It's so much easier to take in calories than it is to burn them. As I mentioned earlier, the reason I hate this training is because it's boring. It's repetitive. After finishing the first round of abs, that's pretty much where the fun ends, and the grind begins. I just have to repeat the same thing over and over, and that's what makes it hard to enjoy. But that's also what makes it valuable for me. It gives me time to reflect, mainly on resilience, on the idea of pushing through, of learning to either enjoy what I don't like, or to let go of whether I like it or not, and just do it anyway. That, to me, is the essence of discipline, doing something regardless of how I feel about it. And it becomes even more powerful when what I'm doing is something I know is good for me. Something important, healthy, necessary, but still hard or unpleasant. That's when I feel discipline really grows. It strengthens both my mind and my body. It's easy to show up when I enjoy something, but that's often because the task itself is easy. So this kind of training gives me time to think. One little mindset hack I use is this. I look forward to the moment it ends. Not in a way where I'm rushing or trying to cheat, but because I know how good I'll feel afterward. That sense of satisfaction from having done something difficult, something I didn't want to do but did it anyway. That builds my self-esteem. And that's why I believe it's so important to follow through with whatever I decide to do. I treat it like a contract with myself. That's the most important agreement I can ever make, because I need to be accountable to myself before I can be accountable to anyone else. So we are approaching the end of the third round of abs. We will be going back into the bag work. The fourth and final round has been done off camera. As always, I will end the video with my own reflection in regards to this training and the connection that I think it makes between the body and the mind, and how it resonates with very essential things that we must have in our life in order to succeed. Some of the most important things you'll have to do in life to achieve greatness will be the very things you hate the most. Great results come from doing what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel about it. The best version of yourself doesn't care about your feelings, not when action is required to become that version. The greatest results often come from the things you resist the most. That's where discipline is forged, the foundation upon which responsibility, resilience, accountability, and mental strength are built. Learn to love what you hate. Might just be the thing that leads you to success. As an immediate reward, you'll gain one of the most powerful fuels for your self-esteem. The personal satisfaction of having done something difficult and unpleasant, but essential. Greatness is just a matter of time. Love what you hate. Mackerel and shallot onion, sardines, lettuce, all that Bugs Bunny stuff. And the hummus, my favorite. And then we got Italian prosciutto, Spanish chorizo, tomatoes. That's gonna be a very good healthy lunch.